I'm Craig McLean and welcome to episode 10 of the Mk1 Escort reassembly. Can't actually believe we're up to episode 10 already. It doesn't feel like I've been gone 5 minutes, but here we are, episode 10. So, as you see in the last video, I finally got the engine in. That was a massive big occasion, something I really enjoyed. It was a bit of a struggle as I mentioned, but it's really nice to get it in. So, the episode before the last one, you'll have seen I've got quite a few parts that I can now start getting fitted to the car, which is what we're going to be doing in this episode. So the likes of the carpet fitting, the suspension arms, etc, etc. So we'll crack on and we'll take it from there. So the second windscreen's arrived, and unfortunately, same again. Not quite as bad as last time, but a broken windscreen is a broken windscreen. So a lot of people were saying in the comments that they thought it was probably down to inadequate packaging, which might be the case. When you look inside the box, there definitely could have been a little bit more packaging, I feel. But I'm not gonna badmouth the supplying company at all, because they're a decent company. They've been very good about it, and at the end of the day, they're the ones that have really lost out here. They've lost 2 windscreens. My blame still stays with the delivery company, because to me, these aren't easily broken. I've broke up the other screen, the first one, for disposal, and it didn't break up easy. So for these to be broken like that, these must have been really badly manhandled. So unfortunately, I've had to place an order elsewhere, because the supplier didn't want to send out another one, and I can understand why after what's happened. I've ordered one through Escorts, and I've paid an extra £15 for insured delivery. So if that one comes broken, at least no one's out of pocket. So that's the track control arms fitted. Nothing much to it really. The bit I did expect to have a little bit of an issue with was this section here, where the track control arm fits into the cross member, because with the new poly bushes, the width of this track control arm seemed like it was much wider than the opening. But I basically applied a bit of WD-40 to both surfaces, and that worked in pretty well. And then it was just a case of putting a couple of bolts in, put the nut on that side, and that's both arms fitted. Probably nothing worth recording, because it's fairly straightforward. The only thing I have done is I've took a measurement from a standard arm, just as a base setting, between this centre bolt, the centre point of this bolt, and the pin at this end. And the best measurement I could get was 263mm of the original arm. So that's what I've now set this arm to, just as a base setting. And then once it's down on the ground on its wheels, I will then set the negative camber to whatever we decide at the time. So like I say, for now it's just set up for the time being. But yeah, they seem a really good quality arm, really heavy duty, not bad at all to fit. And that's obviously another little job that I can tick off my list. So the next job on my list is to fit this one piece pressed carpet from Newton Commercial. I unboxed this last weekend because I thought I may as well get it out, let all the creases drop out, because obviously sitting in a box all folded up isn't good for it. So it's been sat out a week now. It'll be interesting to see how well it fits, but first impressions are this looks a really beautifully made carpet. It's beautifully moulded, and I don't think I'll have any issues with it. The good thing is it doesn't come with a cutout for the transmission selector hole, so that means I can now cut that out myself. I was worried that when I ordered it, I was worried that it might come with the hole already cut out and it would be in the wrong place. But when I read the description properly, when I come to order it, it did say that the selector hole wasn't cut out, so it fits various models. So this is just the standard carpet for the standard tunnel with the manual transmission. And the first job to do is to fit the sound deadening. But before that, I need to remove the front seats, obviously. So I'm going to get them removed next. I've fitted a couple more of the sound deadening pads, the silent court deadening pads. Now I know a lot of people would have put a lot more on than I have, but I'm not a lover of absolutely plastering the floor in it. I know it'll have its pros, putting more of them in. It'll stop vibrations and resonance, etc. But I didn't want to put loads in. At the end of the day, they didn't have loads in originally, so I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pads per side. So there's 8 in total, if I remember rightly. Yeah, that'll be about right. So yeah, I'll get the seats removed now and we'll get the sound deadening in. Right, that's first stage out the way. That is the underlay fitted and lightly bonded down using a bit of spray glue. Using a very light layer of spray glue. The only thing to note with this underlay is, as I said on the carpet, the transmission hole isn't cut out. Well, on the underlay, it is. The hole is already cut out. And because that hole is supposed to be more here, that means that carpet section is further back than it should be, meaning the footwell bits in the corner don't quite match up as you'd hope. So all I had to do there, well, there's two ways of doing it, and the best way I found to do it was to basically bring this section further forward so the corners line up, and then just trim it along this edge here. You'll have to cut about maybe 1.5 to 2 inch maximum. I think it's about 1.5 inches off that edge, and that seems to be the best option. But that's in now, and I can now move on to getting the carpet in, because, well, that's not a very nice carpet, is it? Well, I call that adding a touch of luxury, because what a difference that's made, and what an absolutely superb fit. No trimming to do whatsoever, no real hassle at all. It just sat in, fit every contour perfectly, and the only trimming I've had to do is a little section out round the pedal box and the gear selector hole, as I mentioned. Other than that, that's absolutely perfect. And the new trims that I got from GS Escorts that I mentioned on my previous video, they're now fitted as well, and they just finish the job off beautifully. So if you're looking for a one-piece pressed carpet, I can most definitely recommend the Newton commercial pressed carpets. You do have to wait 6 to 8 weeks for you know, the lead time on them for making and delivery, but I really do 100% think it's worth the wait. I've got the kick plates now to go in them 2 corners. You know, I wish I'd got them and just fitted them. It would just finish the interior off, but I'll get them ordered up, and then that'll make a massive difference to the interior. And again, with the seats and the gear selector fitted back in, it all looks absolutely spot on. The seats are a bit of a pain to put back in with the carpet, because you've got to feed the bolts through the carpet, through the underlay, into the threaded sections in the floor. But you know, it's no big deal. It's just a little bit fiddly. So that's the seat subframes that I built, sitting nicely on top of the carpet. They don't look out of place at all. I'm pleased with that. That's another little job out the way. And I think the next job's probably going to be fitting the windscreen. I don't think I'm going to video it, because if you look back at some of my older videos, I did a full video on fitting the 3 back windows, and I said at the time I wouldn't video putting the windscreen in because it's a bit repetitive. So if you want to see footage of the windows being fitted, that's there is a video online on one of my previous videos further back of fitting the back screen and the 2 backside windows. So you can just look back and find them. One of my viewers did ask for a little bit of footage of the infill strip, which is this section here being fitted into the rubber. So I will try and video a little bit of the front infill strip being fitted, but I'm not going to video the full windscreen being fitted. I'll just show you when it's done. So windscreen number 3 is here. This was ordered through Graham at GS Escorts, as I mentioned, and the amount of packaging in this box is unbelievable, which is a good thing, obviously. I'm going to unpack it properly now. I have unpacked it already and had a quick look at it, and it looks fine. I did expect it to be fine with the amount of packaging, but I'll unpackage it properly now and give you a little bit more details on it. That is half of the packaging. That was down one side of the screen, and as you can see, the other half still packed. And what I do like about this screen, it's different to the other 2, is if I zoom in, I'll try and show you. Around the top of the screen now, we've just got this very thin copper strip that obviously feeds all your elements. So when the rubber seal's on, that'll be hidden and it'll just look like a standard screen, other than you'll see the tiny little thin lines you can just see there in the video. The other screen, as you can see, that's got a black strip all the way around. Now, I never really paid much attention and noticed that previously, but when this one came, it's kind of highlighted, you know, that black section's there, and I much prefer the fact that it's going to look more original without that black strip. So this was ordered, as I said, through Graham, but it came from Ricky Evans Motorsport Glass Limited. So if you're looking to get a heated screen, I can recommend them from a packaging perspective, anyways, because as soon as I opened it, I was confident it was going to be fine due to the amount of packaging. So thank God for that. I've now got to try and fit it without breaking it. That's going to be a nerve-wracking task due to the price of these screens, but I've just got to get on with it. So after a bit of a fight, I've got the screen in. I said I wasn't going to record it because I do have a video further back that covers fitting of screens. I did the back 3, but I did have a viewer ask me to do a little close-up of just how you fit the chrome infill into the rubber. So basically what you need is one of these. This is a windscreen fillet tool. They don't cost very much. I got this many years ago from a car show. Without one of these, it's really difficult to get the chrome strip in. We've done it in the past without them, but it really is a bit of a pain. So I would recommend getting one of these tools. And it's as simple as this. It's a great little tool, and you basically have to wiggle it into the groove, just like that. So both sides are in. I'm obviously I'm not going to start the seal off here. You start in the centre at the top of the screen and you work round, or the centre at the bottom, whichever. And you basically feed your strip through the hoop like that. As you can see, it feeds through the hoop, and then you basically work the tool up. It helps as well if you put a little bit of fairy liquid or some kind of lubrication on to feed it in, but this one isn't going too bad. And you just feed it up like that, working your way along, and as you can see, that's now fitted perfectly into the rubber, and you just work your way all the way around. It gets harder in the corners where it's tighter, but that's basically all there is to that. And that's the heated screen fitted, and thankfully without breaking it. A job I've been dreading for a while, but I'm pleased it's in. It was a bit tight, especially on this corner here, this top corner. It was really tight, but it's gone in, and I think it'll settle after a while, and that shouldn't be a problem at all. There's a little bit of tidying up to do here where the cables meet the screen, and the plugs for the screen, I don't know if you can see, but they sit in that corner, and I'm not happy with that. I don't want it to look like an afterthought. I want the heated screen to look like it was part of the car. So I'm going to have a good think about it, because I want these plugs hidden. All I want to see is these two little black ribbon cables running down the front of the strip, and that's it. So I may have to cut 2 little slots for them to fit through the dash so that it looks factory, because I don't like them sitting in them corners. It's the only thing I'm disappointed about with the full screen, but I'll definitely give that some thought, and I'll hopefully come up with a solution to get them plugs hidden, because to look at it, you wouldn't know it was a heated screen, and that's the way I want it. I don't want people to look and say, oh, well, that's not right, that's not how it was originally. I want it to have a heated screen without people necessarily being able to point it out immediately. So that's a job out the way that I'm really pleased is out the way. That's all the windows in now, apart from the doors. The ones in the doors obviously fit very differently. So I'm super pleased that is finished. So a little thing to remember if you're fitting a heated screen. This is something I was told about by Graham at GS Escorts. If you're fitting a heated windscreen, where the cables meet the screen in the bottom corners, there's 2 in this side and 2 in the other corner, it's worth putting some sealer into the seal and around them connections, because apparently what happens is water seeps in, rots the connections, and then your screen stops working. So it's just something to bear in mind. I've put a bit of silicone sealant into that area of the seal today to try and prevent that happening. Something I was told, so I thought I would just pass it on. Well, I've managed to resolve the issue with the ribbons from the heated screen and the unsightly plugs in the corner. I've now managed to get rid of them, but I've had to do it in a manner that I absolutely hate. I mean, really hate. I really do hate it when people cut holes into body shells. You'll have all seen it before when people cut holes in the back shelves, in the metal back shelf for 6x9s, that kind of stuff. Well, I've had to do something very similar here. I've had to cut 2 little tiny envelopes into the top of the dash, one at either side, and I've had to file them perfectly. I think you can see it there, perfectly rectangular. so that them ribbons now just come down in front of the rubber and drop down through the dash. And I'll insert a picture now to show you how it did look. And as you can see, it looked really, really unsightly with them plugs in the corner, and I just couldn't be on with it. But I think you'll agree, it looks far, far better, the method that we've got now. It's took a couple of hours to get them cut in and filed nicely and whatnot, but that's now done, and I think that can cross the windscreen off my list. I think the only thing I need to try and find is some little grommets to go around in the top of the dash to go around them. If I can find some little square grommets, I'm going to have to, because I don't like the fact that they are running through a metal hole. So that's another little job out the way. Something else that's been really annoying today is whoever made the windscreen had bonded these ribbons to the screen with this horrible tacky glue, and there was glue all over the windscreen and all over the ribbons. I think you can see it better still at that side where I haven't quite got rid of it all in the corner. I'll have to spend a little bit more time on that. But that glue has took some removing. I've had to use very, very carefully use thinners on it and scrape it away so that it looks nice and neat. And it looks nice and neat from the outside now as well, because it looked really, really awful with glue stuck in the bottom corner of the screen. So that's just something else I've had to contend with today. Every now and again, you open up a parcel that you've just received and you're blown away by the quality of the item. And that's exactly what happened here. I managed to get these for a fantastic price of £67 for the 3. And I've seen them go many times for around about £90 for the 3. They were on bids on eBay, and I was lucky enough to be the winning bidder. And they're absolutely amazing quality. They're so heavy. They're proper, probably brass, chromed brass. And as you'll probably all know, the quality of chrome today is pretty crap compared to what it used to be. But these are absolutely outstanding. Really, really nice quality badges. So obviously one of them goes on the passenger side section of the boot over there, and the other 2 go on the front wings by the door. But I'll show you a bit of them being fitted in the next episode, because obviously so far I've spent a lot of time on the interior, a lot of time on the engine and under the bonnet. So my plan next is to probably start moving on to a lot of the dress-up bits on the outside. I'm probably not supposed to know it, but my wife's actually got me the front quarter bumpers, new front quarter bumpers, and probably all sorts of other bits and bobs off different people that I don't know about. So the next probably couple of videos will see the car start to get its face, let's say, start to come together from the outside and actually look like a Mk1 RS 2000. So I end this video with a bit of sad news, unfortunately. It's a bit of bad news I've known about for a while, but I was kind of hoping it might blow over and not materialise, but it is actually happening. And that's the fact that the body shop, Whitehaven Accident Repair, formerly Ponfield Bodyworks, that painted the Mini here and the Escort just in July this year, are closing their doors for the last time at the end of November. Well, it's a couple of weeks. By the time you see this video, they'll probably have closed. The owner, Duncan, and quite a few of his staff are all around the 60+ age. I think one of the guys is even 70+. You know, obviously they can't carry on forever, but you know, it is really, really sad. It's really sad for the guys that work there. It's the end of an era for Duncan and a lot of the lads that's worked there for many years. And you know, we've lost a really, really, really good body shop, which is the real sad thing for me and a lot of my mates that have used them down the years. Great body shop. I mean, what you can see here, the quality of the finishes, they're you know, they're probably even better in reality than what they look on film. They're absolutely top notch, and they're the type of place where when you go to see the lads, when you go up there, it's not a case of, you know, no, you're not allowed in here. They'll always allow you to go in, have a crack with the lads, see what's going on. And I've always really, really enjoyed going up and having a good crack with them. It's, you know, especially when my car was up there, I would go up on a fairly regular basis and see how things were going, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, it is really, really sad. Unfortunately, we've lost a really good body shop, as I've said, and they're going to be really difficult to replace. So I'll leave this video here with a couple of pictures that I've now got permission from Duncan to use at the end of this video of some of the projects that they've worked on down the years. You know, they started back in 1984 up at Kells, moved into the bigger premises in 2010, and now they're obviously at that kind of age where it's time to call it a day, unfortunately. So thanks very much for watching as always, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll now leave you with some images of the Ponfield stroke Whitehaven accident repair past projects. Thanks very much for watching.